Yeah, I think you highlighted earlier what was it like when we walked out on the pitch and interacted with the players. I think this charity supports the great players of the past. So as much as we didn't get the chance to see them play and see them help the club that we all love, we can actually give something back to those people that helped build the club that we see and support every week now. So it's a great honour.
And just further to that, I was just going to add that, without these people that have, devoted large parts of their, earning careers to Spurs, being a footballer in those days, they maybe could have done something a lot more worthwhile. I mean, obviously today it's different. But without these guys, we potentially wouldn't be going to Wembley at the weekend. Spurs is such a large part of our lives that, we should really, support that. And, a lot of people would say, maybe it's not the most worthwhile charity, but I think for Spurs fans, it's such a huge part of our lives that, it really is.
It is. It absolutely is. And I've spent some time with Daniel, and he's very passionate about it, and rightly so. There's many people that benefit. And I'm reading, and I got it last night in the Post. I'm reading Adam Pally and Martin Cloak's book, and which is just great. It's interviews with 10 players from the team in the early '80s, and it speaks to the dynamic of these were stars, right? But my God, I mean they weren't millionaires, and the money ends. Many of the players of that team and teams after, and certainly teams before, really struggle. And they've given so much to the club, and so I'm thankful to the trust and thankful to what you guys are doing. So you guys are married. How many of the group are single guys? And has your single life completely changed now that you're that you're pop magnets?
Well, we have our first group
you got
wedding.
Groupies? You do? No mustaches?
No moustaches, but the first of us is getting married in a few weeks' time, and I think...
Oh, what a waste!
Way to get the song basically just dominating the whole last 2 hours of, you can dance to anything, but if you can't dance to your own song, then you've really got no chance.
Yeah, I'm not sure my fiance is too happy about our desire to have the song infiltrate the wedding playlist.
Oh, I thought she was going to walk down the aisle to Hotshot Tottenham. That's going to be awesome.
There.
Yeah. Well, look, guys, we want your support, actually, because next week a bunch of us have got my bachelor party in Vegas. So if you can get this song going around America, then hopefully we'll be able to be famous in Vegas too.
Oh yeah. We need to get like Armin van Buuren to do like a Vegas club remix of it.
Yeah. I think you guys should be able to headline for Sinatra in Vegas while you're there.
Brilliant. All right, so you're going to the final tomorrow. So give us a sense of how you're going to go about your business tomorrow. What time your day will start? What are you going to do? And give us your sort of cup final itinerary, if you will.
I guess it'll be up as soon as the gods make me wake up out of the nerves, I guess, because it's not going to be the easiest night's sleep tonight. And then I think our pub opens at about 10:30, so we'll be in there. And it's one of those things, it's going to be great fun to have so many people together, but ultimately it's going to be the biggest day of clock watching imaginable. And as much as we're going to be enjoying it, you kind of want 2 o'clock, 2:30 to come around so that you can get on the train and go down to the stadium. And then I think we're going to be on Sky Sports News doing a live version on Wembley Way of the song, which could go one of two ways.
No, you're not, are you? Oh, yeah. Wow.
Exciting.
One way.
Terrific. Nervous?
Into the ground, and hopefully the day doesn't end at 6 o'clock. Hopefully it'll go on for a lot longer than that.
Well, we've actually booked the same pub for the evening as well, so we'll either be celebration drinks or commiseration drinks. So either way, we're going to be heading back to the pub afterwards.
So how many of you were at the final in 2008?
I think all of us.
Yeah.
Wow. Isn't that unbelievable? I was thinking about it last night. It's been 6 years. Crazy to think it's been that long since we've been back at Wembley.
Yeah, we've had a couple of near misses since then, but but in that period we were going every other year.
Yeah.
And then it's all dried up a little bit.
Well, it was funny because when Pochettino was hired, one of the knocks on him was that he's really not a cup guy. He always puts out weak squads for the cups and things like that. And I think once he got here and realized, what kind of a history we have with those cup competitions, to his credit, he's played some pretty decent squads, or at least put them out on the pitch. Fiorentina, or what's actually happened since the North London derby, has been a little shocking as far as form goes going into tomorrow. But I fully expect to have the most powerful 11 players that we can put out on the pitch tomorrow to try to replicate what we did, roughly a month ago against this same club.
I hope so.
I'm optimistic. Go on, Darryl.
Sorry, I was going to say. I think he's not done what like Harry Redknapp did in his Europa League seasons, where he played a pure reserve team, and we went over to was it Bohemians, or went over to Ireland and played against a team there and struggled. But some of the things about Pochettino's team selections is kind of the in-betwixt and in-betweens that I think has actually affected us. I think that the team we played against, Leicester, for instance, in the FA Cup, was a ridiculous team to play. I think we've been a little bit fortunate with the run that we've had, but it's good that he's not completely thrown these tournaments, because these are the things that we'll remember in years to come, not narrowly missing out on fourth.
Yeah, because I feel that, here he is first year and he's in a cup competition, and a lot of people are going to look at that as a massive success, and I do, admittedly. And I really am anxious to see what he's able to do with this new recruitment center that we have, and Ian Broomfield and all of the folks that are working behind the scenes with the youth programs, to give him a full summer of a transfer window to see, if he can say, look, we finished 6th, or we finished 5th, or, who knows, finish 4th. And we did it with the players that I have, but they're not really what I need. This is what I need if you want us to go to the next level. And it'll be really interesting to see how Levy, Baldini, Enoch themselves interact with, who he wants out, who he wants in. I know people can probably list 6 players off the top of their head that they'd love to have in, but they could also list 6 that they'd love to have out. And I think that there are some changes ahead to the squad.
Yeah, I think hopefully we'll see it this summer. I think it's always very harsh. I mean, I know managers get tough treatment, especially over here in the Premier League. But I think it's always very harsh to start laying into a manager before they've had a couple of windows to try and sort out the squad they want. So hopefully we've seen a little bit in the last window, and hopefully possibly give him 2 more windows, and then I think we'll start to see the sort of squad he wants to assemble to play the way in which he wants to play.
Yeah, I mean, to take a step back to after the Stoke game in November, I mean, literally anything could have happened from that stage. I mean, if we'd carried on playing like we did, God knows where we would have finished up. So, I mean, I was over in Florence on Thursday, and there were a lot of people, talking after the game, and said that, you can see that he's probably got 11, 12, maybe 13 players that he likes and trusts, and the rest are just fit them in as best as possible, just to not, knacker the other guys out. Right. So, as Dave said, I think a couple of windows, 3 or 4 in and 3 or 4 out once, and then again, and you start building a squad of 16 players you can trust, 19 players you can trust. That will make all the difference, and hopefully they keep on going with the young kids coming through, because if anything, that's really invigorated being a Spurs fan, having against West Ham 6 young kids, 5 English, and Bentaleb on the pitch, who are kind of your boys that you want to see play.
Yeah, and I think next year Alex Pritchard should get a definite shot at making the first team.
I feel like Pochettino can also. Sorry, Dave, going.
No, I was just saying he's been hanging around a lot, and often there's a lot of reports on how the loanees are doing, and every time we hear something back, it's Pritchard scored a free kick, Pritchard scored a goal here. So yeah, hopefully we'll start to give some of these boys a chance. I mean, they can't do worse than some of the players that we signed for 25 to 30 million. So we might as well give them a go.
Yeah, may as well. Darryl, you were saying.
And I feel like Poch, I feel like he can spot a player. I mean, I don't think Fazio and Ledley were necessarily the players that he had a direct impact to, but looking at the assets at his disposal, his sort of ability to bring players into the squad, which he's done from the youth team, and obviously develop players there, I think he does know what players he needs to fit into his system. How he's brought on Bentaleb his improvements have been incredible. Danny Rose, I used to be a massive critic. Now I think he's one of the most important players that we have, tactically speaking. Obviously doing very well with Kane. And I do have faith that he will be able to go out and find players that will fit into our system, because he's done that from the youth team already.
I agree with that. Simon, I know you got some interjection with this, yes?
Guys, I think really what you've done is phenomenal. As Ken mentioned earlier, the Tottenham Tribute Trust is phenomenal in what it is able to do for the players that didn't live in an era where there was a ton of money, and that's all they knew. And if you didn't have a game plan when you retired from football, it was back with the masses, and there wasn't that huge distinction that there is today, which is a shame, but it's progress in the modern world and in the modern game. And anyone who is able to do something that supports the Tribute Trust is top drawer in my book, and I applaud you guys for it. Thank you very much for coming on the show, and I play the song a lot. I love it. I think it's a right laugh.
Yeah. And do you have a favourite bit?
Sorry?
Do you have
we've been down the pub the last couple of games since I've had it, and obviously the Bentaleb Stambouli is pretty awesome. And I just love the original bits that you've carried over from the original song too.
My favorite line was the one that I opened the podcast with last week, and that was with Eriksson and Chadley. We don't miss Bale so badly. So I like that line. That one got me going pretty good with the song.
I think we'd still take him back for tomorrow.
Yeah. If offered, we'd probably give.
I'd give back all 7. Well, maybe we'll keep Eriksson. We'll give back the other guys. Real quickly, I want to do this around the room, and I'll start with our guys. Actually, I'm going to start with Andy. Prediction for tomorrow, score-wise.
Adam is.
Adam, I'm sorry. I know it had an A and a D in it somewhere. Yeah.
That's right. It's close enough. Well, as I said, when we were sitting in the pub, that oh my God, we could get on the pitch. No, that won't happen. And then, this week I said, if we win, maybe Stambouli and Bentaleb will sing our line together, filmed whilst drinking from the cup. And again, no, that can't happen, surely. So considering everything else we've prophesied has come true, I'm going 2-1 to Spurs after extra time again.
David, what about you?
I agree with Adam. I think it's going to be a close game. I think Jose's not going to do anything too silly after the way in which we beat them last time. I think he'll keep it tight, but I do think we can have a good go at them because we know we've scored some goals against them in the past. So I think we'll take them to extra time, and you just got to hope to nick a goal there. So I'm going to be positive and say 2-1 Spurs after extra time.
I think I figured it out. I'm going to call Adam Dave, and I'll just pull a trigger the rest of the show.
Perfect.
Darryl, how about you, buddy?
I mean, I think I agree with Adam in the whole. It just feels like it's meant to be. I think the past couple of weeks it feels like we're a little bit in the Truman Show with how things have been going. I think we'll win 2-1, and I think we'll do it in regular time.
All right. Usually I go last. I'm going to go ahead and put mine in now. I see a lot of goals. The 5-3, the 3-0 earlier in the year before we really got things going. I think the game, usually with a cup final, and we saw it last year when Hull and Arsenal played, there's a lot of feeling out process. It's kind of like two boxers mixing it up for a few rounds before they really get into it. I think this thing is going to be balls to the wall, back and forth up the pitch on the counterattacks all game long. But I'm going to say 3-2 Spurs. And we won't go to extra time. I think it will end 90 minutes. 3-2.
I was thinking about my poor heart here with these predictions.
Oh, God. Why do I have... Heart or brain? I mean, heart says, 2-1 Tottenham.
Don't say the brain bit, mate.
I'm just...
That's good, 2-1. Simon?
Yeah. I hope and I pray and I hope and I pray.
You right here.
I mean, to the comment that was made earlier, I mean, the clock, every minute that comes off the clock is just agonizing, right? Yeah. It's just agonizing. And, anyway, good luck to us all.
Simon?
Yeah, 2-1, we have picked that score so many times this season. It's inevitable that we do it. It follows the trend from 67 and 08. So I'm going for regulation, and Harry Kane will be the hero. I don't think he'll get 2. He'll get 1. I actually picked Dembele to score. So how stupid am I?
Just get in the net.
Yeah, I don't care who it is.
Think he starts? Dembele's going to start. Yeah, we
absolutely.
Yeah,
we need him to hold the ball in midfield. We really do.
Yeah, we do.
We all think there's one position up for grabs, and it's a straight up choice between Townsend, Lamela, or Chadley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we